before I started the boot camp, I would say for the last year at least, um, I struggled with trying to find my balance of a healthy lifestyle. And I was exercising a ton, but I wasn't seeing any results. And I knew deep down that the issue really was food. I've always struggled with food my entire life. So I finally kind of came to like this moment where I was, nothing's ever going to change unless I figure that part out. I tried calorie counting, and that I'd say worked for like a week or so, and I lost a couple pounds, but then I would gain that back plus more, and I kept on doing it, kept on trying it, and 6 months later I was 5-10 pounds heavier, so it really wasn't working for me. But I just really wanted to find something that solved the eating issue that I've always, I don't know, danced around and didn't really want to actually address. I would say in high school I started trying new diets, and gosh, some of them I lost a ton of weight, and even at my smallest I still thought that I should lose more, and I was having people approach me, tell me they were worried for me because they could see my ribs showing and all that, but all I could still see is the cellulite on my legs. So I thought that there was still more to go, and more work to do. So gosh, I mean, I would try and just really made myself just tired from all the effort that I put into it. And finally, I would crack and say, okay, it's not worth it, all this that I'm putting myself through, and then I would gain it all back and more some. And I would just, I don't know, I ended up in a place where I didn't think I would end up again, where I was, heavier. And that's kind of where I found myself last year. So some of my eating issues, I'd say a big one was that I felt like I always had to finish the food on my plate. I had like anxiety about it. Like if there was food left, I felt like I was wasting it and I was being wasteful. And I think that kind of, now having done the boot camp, I think that part of that, I had some insight to it, was just that I had a very large, family growing up. I have 4 brothers, so the food wasn't always around. If there was something good in the house, they were eating it real quick. So if I had it, I had to eat it. That was a big thing for me to overcome feeling like I just had to eat everything at my plate. And I feel like that right there is just a huge weight that's been lifted off of me that I'm very happy with now. The boot camp experience was amazing. I felt like everything that Kylie said was straight out of like something I would say. I told her, I was kind of laughing, I said that it felt like her speaking to me was as if I was coming back from the future, like if I had already figured it all out and came back to tell myself the shortcuts. Everything she says just really resonates with me. Through the recordings each week, I find myself crying at least once, just because it's so spot on, and I relate to it very well. So some things that I've already seen changing physically, I could tell that I'm starting to drop fat, drop weight already, which is kind of exciting because I could fit into my old pants I kind of tucked down deep in the closet and haven't touched in a year, I'd say, and I'm wearing them now actually. So that's something that I'm really excited about, and my confidence is coming back. There was a time, I think it was last summer, that I just was feeling very low. It felt like I was trying and nothing was working. And finally, the fact that I have something that's working for me, I just feel a relief, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I focus on other things in my life, and I just feel happier. It's funny, I don't know if I expected it to work as well as it did. I hoped it would, but I guess I would say that I didn't realize that I would have almost an answer to everything that I've ever struggled with as far as food. You're going to get me all teary here, but no, I thought that there would still be things I'd struggle with, and I'm working through them all now, but I really feel like I have almost an answer to every question that I've had. And I feel like she's really given me the building blocks that I'm able to, work through a lot of the things that I've always wanted to. And I feel like she's really kind of set me up for life now. So I think my biggest aha or learning experience from this is just the realization, I'm going to cry now, the realization that I can do it. I was very scared that I was going to struggle my entire life. It was a very real fear of mine. But I don't think that anymore. I really do think that with Kylie's help, I'm not going to struggle anymore. I haven't figured it all out, of course, but I'm well on my way now, and I have something tangible that I can hold on to, something that I can target, and I have to hold in my hands and can actually work on. Whereas before, I just felt very lost, and I just felt like I had no idea what to focus on. I just thought that there was something wrong with me, and now I feel like she did it, and I know a lot of other people have succeeded with this, and I can see it on myself. It's starting to work already, and something's definitely changed with my thinking around eating, big time. So I think that my biggest thing is that I now feel like I know I can do it. It's not a question anymore, and I know that I won't struggle for the rest of my life. So I think the thing I liked most about Kylie was that she was there for us. Every single time somebody posted a question or even just a comment about how they did well or not so well, she always had some sort of response, and most time it was very enlightening too. So I felt like I could always turn to her if I had a question, and I knew I'd have a really good answer back that would help me through it. I would definitely recommend the boot camp. I'm already in all my friends, all my family, I'm telling them all the time, just what amazing support it is. If you've struggled for whoever knows how long, and you really are finally ready to take that next step and address the issues that you've maybe been kind of pushing off on the back burner, this is the program for you. Kylie explains why diets don't work, and I wholeheartedly believe her, because I have the same philosophy after having tried them for so long and getting no results or the opposite results where I've gained weight. Go for it. Really think back, think deep. Are you willing to spend the rest of your life not really getting anywhere? I wasn't, and that was a very strong fear of mine to spend the rest of my life struggling. I didn't want that for myself. So yeah, I did it. I'm so, so grateful and thankful. So the thing I think would be the most rewarding so far is one, realizing that I don't have to finish everything on my plate, and I'm okay with that. That was completely amazing. Like, I would struggle. I'd push my plate away, come back to it, eat a little bit more, push it away until the server came to wrap it up for me. And even then, sometimes I would open it up and take another bite. Really ridiculous. So when I realized that I didn't even need to do that anymore, it was just kind of mind-blowing. I never thought that I would ever get over that. And another thing I would say is really rewarding is just looking down and seeing that I'm starting to lean out. My abs are kind of coming through, and I can tell you I've never had that in my entire life. And I work out a lot. I really do. High intensity workouts, and I'm just completely drenched with sweat, and all that doesn't affect me. Really, it's just my eating. So once I kind of started working at it, started putting in the effort, and I can see it now on my body, it's so rewarding. If I post a question, she she has such insight, and I really do appreciate that. And I feel like she's walked in our shoes before. She's come out the other side. She tells us she struggles with some stuff even to this day. But the fact that I realize I can handle it now, and I'll be able to take it on in my future, it's not so scary anymore. This is the first thing that's felt right that I found. It felt like this is truly what speaks to me, and I knew that this was the thing that would, I guess, get me over the hump and really teach me and educate me on things I needed to change and to just become successful. It's helped me so much that if I could just spread the word to one other person who's struggling and is looking for something that could really set them up for life, I'm all for it.